Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I'm Know-It-All Gaming, and welcome to my Valheim Perfect Start Series. Okay, so this is the beginning of the game. We're creating a new character. So basically you can choose male, female, the skin tone, hairstyle, whether you've got a beard or not, the hair tone, and the blondness. We're going to go with a kind of a very generic-ish design here with the character. So let's go with some flowing locks. Let's have a look. What beard are we going to put? Yeah, we'll change the hair tone a bit. What does that do? Okay, so make it quite blonde. Increase the blondness. And yeah, that looks quite cool. Okay, and we're going to go with Thor. Generic, I know. Odin's son. Okay, so done. You've now been given some scrappy clothes and you hit start. Now that's a previous world that I've created, so we'll create new. All you do is you type in the name of whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to be really original with the first one being called Midgard. I'm going to call this Midgard with an E. There we go. Lovely. Done. Now all you do is you click start and your journey will commence, which of course we will skip if you haven't played the game yet. Here we go. So the big ass bird is bringing us in and dropping us off at the start location. We now have nothing at all, and basically the degree of instructions and everything else that you're given aren't huge. So here to guide you in your travels, the megaliths surrounding the sacrificial stones. They represent the Forsaken. Okay, great. We've got some glowing red thingy over here. Let's go and have a look. What's this? Okay, Vegvasir. These magical stones are scattered throughout the lands by Odin as signposts. This one will reveal the summoning place of the first boss, Eikthyr. Okay, so Eikthyr is over there. Obviously we're not going to run over there and try and start a fight straight away. What we need to do is start scavenging for resources and get our first shelter built. That is the most important thing. Now at the moment I'm wet because it was raining, so you can see at the top right hand corner I'm wet for another 1 minute and 16 seconds. What that does is it reduces the amount your stamina recovers because you're wet. That's fine. We've got a branch here, so press E and you can pick that up. So that's wood. So now we've already learned some new recipes. So new material, crafting recipe for a stone axe. It's one of the quickest things to build, so what you need to do is you need to pick up a couple of stones and some wood, so pick up those branches on the ground for some easy wood. So we need a bit more before we can build the axe. Look, he's back, Hugin is back. Yep, crafted. Due to recent departure from Midgard, you'll have to recall the true shape of objects, but pick things up and it'll all come back to you, I'm sure. So you learn recipes as you go. Okay, so that's a big rock, we can't pick that up. There we go, there's a little one, managed to pick that up. Now these stones there on the left that I've just walked past is actually a burial zone, but we'll find that out much later in the game, because of course we're right at the beginning. Oh, look, here's some stones. Okay, so E, pick them up, and some branches, that's some extra wood, fantastic. Easier than punching a tree, that I have seen on some other videos for tips. The easiest tips when you're starting the game is pick up the stones and just click E on the branches, turn them into pieces of wood, and you'll be able to get your first axe created very quickly. So here we go, stone axe. There we go. Now the next thing we're going to need to build is the hammer, but we need 3 wood for that. So we need to find some more wood. Okay, so off we trot. We've got our axe now, so now we can chop down trees and of course defend ourselves as well. Right, there's a couple more bits of wood. Fantastic. Oh, I can see one of those Eikthyr stones down there. Some more stone here. Lovely. In fact, there's quite a bit of stone. That's handy. Okay, well, pick all those up. Grab it while you can. You can hold 300 weight because you're... Oh, a boar. Handy. Let's chop him down because he might give us some leather scraps and also meat. I've got no chance of cooking it yet, but there we go. Okay. Got some leather scraps there. Okay, have a wander around. Oh, there's another branch. Let's grab that for some more wood. See what this sign over here says. Oh, there's another boar there as well. Okay, so have a look. Land is hard and wild. Blah, blah, blah. Enjoy the fruits and the flowers of the forest. Look also to the wild boar who roam these lands. They fear fire and the hand of man, but can be taught to obey. Yeah, you can farm them. Oh, we got a dwarf, a greyling dwarf. Easy to kill. More importantly, he's going to drop us some resin, and that will help us to build torches so that we can have things that burn. Oh, he's running away. Get him. Okay, and he's dead. There we go. Raw meat, new material. Fantastic. Well, that's going to be a food source. Okay. So now all this is at the beginning of the game is you're going to be exploring around, and what you really want to find is some open space, or maybe a recently abandoned building, so a moss-covered building. But let's chop this log up and get some wood. There we go. So explore around until you find what you're looking for. So here we go. Hugin's telling us now about food. So a tasty morsel. You've found a snack. Consume it to improve your health. Yep, because there's some raspberries just over there that you can pick. So again, same as everything else. Go up to it, press E, collect the raspberry. Lovely jubbly. We've now got something that we can eat because we are about to die. So there we go. We've eaten the raspberry. That's going to improve our health because we've only got 8 health at the moment. Okay, pick up more wood and let's skip forwards. Oh, there's a deer there, and it's a 1-star deer. Later on, once we've finally got a bow, we'll be able to shoot those and get their hides and the meat from them. But we have found a house. Now, for some reason I went invisible here. Hey, I learnt a trick really early in the game there, so I magically went invisible. We're going to blame that on a glitch on the game. After all, this is early access. But in we go, and here we go. This is a building. So it's abandoned and it's a bit shabby, but we can repair it. So we'll craft the hammer. There we go. So we've got a new build piece, and also we can now build the workbench and our cooking station. Okay, so missing requirement, crafting station. So we need that workbench. Oh, Hugin's back again. Let's see what he's got to say. Give a quick E tap. Okay, for some reason it's not saying. There we go. Switch to something else. There we go. Yes, I can raise mighty halls and towering fortifications. And yes, we need to start by building a workbench. Thank you for telling me something I already knew, which I was telling you about. Okay, so we go into the abandoned building, and what we're going to need to do is craft a workbench. And once we've crafted that workbench, what we'll then be able to do is get everything repaired. So this is your craft menu here, but this isn't what we want. We want to be on the hammer, right click, go to crafting, and then you use the middle mouse wheel to rotate. And there we go. So we've now got a workbench, so now we've got more crafting recipes that we can build. So crude bow, loads of other different bits and pieces. Now we can build walls, and more importantly, we can actually repair stuff as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to expand this hut to be our first base. I say first base because obviously throughout the game you may want to build different bases in different locations as you explore. But let's get everything repaired. So you right click, click on the hammer, and then just quite left click on everything, and it will repair all of this shoddy wood, so it's back to being good, fresh quality. No holes, everything's looking better, and you've got the beginnings of a shelter. So there we go, let's get that repaired as well. We're out of stamina there. So let's let our stamina recover a bit and now do a bit more repairing. That's already repaired because it's on the inside. Okay, so repair those. There we go. Go around the other side, have a look. What else needs to be repaired? Okay, all of these need repairing. That's it. Repair, repair, and repair. And I like the fact that you've got because when you build it yourself, you won't have a tree growing on the outside as an example. So for your early shelter, this is quite cool. Again, get all these bits repaired. So everything's looking nice and fresh and new. There we go. There's actually a missing X piece on the end there, but to be honest, I don't really care because this isn't going to be where I sleep. We're going to expand the shelter. So, can we repair under there? Yes, we can. There we go. Okay, so that's all repaired up. So we've now got the beginnings of a shelter. So furniture, you can build your bed. Miscellaneous is where you build your fire. For a good night's rest, you're going to need a bed and a fire for your comfort levels. Okay. Let's have a look. Everything's there, is looking okay. The other thing you can do is repair everything at your workbench. So let's go to the workbench, switch off of the hammer, because we don't want to be repairing, so just switch to anything and then use. And we can build a hoe as well. We're going to need that to flatten the terrain to expand our shelter, to make the ground flat outside. So switch to your hoe. Here we go, and now we can level ground. So by leveling ground, it will spread out and flatten everything for you so it's at the same height, which allows us to expand this initial little hut that we're going to use as our base of operations to include living quarters, so our bed, fire, and everything else that we need. Okay, so here we go. There's a stone there as well, actually, that I haven't picked up, but it doesn't really matter. And the funny thing is, those dandelions that are there in the ground that I'm leveling still grow on the inside of the initial base as I've expanded it, which is quite funny. So it just keeps spawning there in the middle of the living room floor, which is quite amusing. So that's flattened out a bit, and it's you notice it's still sloping. The one thing I would say with the leveling terrain on this is it isn't great. It doesn't. It's one of the gripes I have is it doesn't actually flatten it out to a flat kind of surface, and more importantly, it doesn't really level it to the level that you're starting with as you expand it out. So you end up, you add walls and you've got holes underneath, and then you need to raise the ground, which you'll see later in the video. Bits of this I'll speed up just because it's easier to speed it up, to be honest. We've got bits here that still need to be repaired, to be honest, but again, doesn't matter for now, because the important thing is we're going to need more resources to be able to expand the shelter so that we can turn it into a home. Now, I had an idea of putting a porch on here, but later you'll see I changed my mind and demolished it. And you can already see when I add these two pieces of wall, look at the down slope. So even though I said level, that's not level, is it? That's a down slope still. It is still down. So where you think you would click on the area, it would level it to the height that the other ground is. It doesn't. It actually drops it slightly, which is quite frustrating. But again, it's a small personal gripe that if you've got a leveling terrain tool, it should level the terrain. It shouldn't drop the terrain as it levels it. You'd think you'd smooth out the soil, make it nice and flat, and that's how it would work, but it doesn't. And to raise terrain, you need stone. So you need to make sure you've collected plenty of stone to actually raise the terrain. So my idea here was put on a porch. So yeah, here we go. That's all great. Okay, so off we trot to have a look at some other bits and pieces in the local area. There's some stone. Pick it up. You always want to pick up every resource that you find near the beginning. So there's Hugin, and he's talking about the hoe that I crafted. Yep, already know. We've used it to clear the ground and manipulate terrain. Easier to create buildings on a flat surface. Yeah, it is, if you actually turned it into a flat surface, which you're not. Okay, so into the building we go. Have a look. Is there anything in there? No. Oh, we've got another greyling. Okay, give him a slap to the face with your axe. Bring his health down. One more. Boom. Off he pops. And there's some more resin. Thank you. Now that mighty oak there on the left we can't kill. Can't chop down yet. So I've skipped forwards. As you can see, I've been out exploring all day. We're back to the house. And now it is time to actually start building it so that we can have a shelter. And of course there's a chap running up to me. And now he's running off because there's fire. Because those greylings don't like fire. Although you can see he keeps circling back to try and do damage and hunt me down. But the fire is keeping him away. Right, into here. Right, let's get everything repaired. There we go. So that's repaired everything. And it's free, which is handy. First time I played this, I used my axe so much it broke. And of course, didn't realise, don't want to build another fire. What am I doing? I want to actually start building some walls, because at the moment everything is a little bit on the exposed side. Okay, so put down our initial walls, and what we're going to do is we're going to try and build basically an extension, which will be a separate house. But here, look at this. See how far that is off the ground already? We only need, your initial shelter needs to be quite small. You don't need to make it big. There's no grand hall building yet. This is a Bobby basic. Let's get a roof over our heads with a fire and a bed so that we can sleep. And then what you do is you slowly expand it as you need all your additional requirements. If you're first starting this game, and I'm sure you're watching my video on YouTube, you'll have watched other videos on YouTube, you don't need to be making a grand hall yet. This is just get a roof over your head, get yourself somewhere to sleep, and that's it basically. So we've got a 45-degree corner there, lovely, that sits on the corner. Okay, let's build some more roof pieces, and then of course promptly run out of resources because we're using a lot of that wood that I've been out collecting. So I've been chopping down trees, chopping those up, collecting the wood, and yep, see, we're out of wood again, so it's time to go off for another trot. So we can't build a bed. Oh, we have got enough resources. Oh, yeah, missing requirements, so we haven't got enough wood. Okay, right, so off we go again. I know I feel cold. It's the middle of the night. Oh, that's a branch, so I can't chop that down. Oh, I bring tidings, whatever. Skip forwards. Let's speed this up. Okay, so I've gone out. I've got some more wood. Now I want to raise the terrain. There we go. Oh, missing requirement because I haven't got enough stone. So I've managed to raise one corner there. Those walls are under the ground. Okay, let's put the bed in. Where do we want it? Do we want it there? No, I think it probably looks better there. That will do. Okay, hell warrior, because you have a bed. Yes. Yep, there we go. So you claim the bed, but at the moment it's too exposed because I haven't built enough of a building around it. And it's not going to allow me to build that end piece either. So let's destroy the bed. Right, let's put that wall in. Okay, get a 45-degree corner piece. There we go, put that on the end. So we're starting to build round this original hut to expand what we've got. Okay, so you've got some flat roofs there. Okay, so put those over. That's it. Let's get a bit more built as well. So let's get some more wall in. Okay, I'm resting now, which means there's enough around to let me rest. Which means I've got enough protection to be able to sleep. But we're going to carry on because we want that sealed room. We want it to be an actual house. We don't want it to be a half-built, hardly any roof place to stay, as this is going to be our base of operations. So, get all these pieces of wall put in. So we're going 2-story with the building, because one other thing you also need to consider is the smoke that is coming from your fire. If you build a roof over your head that is completely sealed with no space for the smoke to escape, you'll lose health because your room will fill up with smoke. So you don't want that. Let's chop down some more trees because, of course, we've run out of wood again. I mean, the initial shelter I built the first time I played this was literally tiny. It covered the requirements, bare minimum kind of thing. Oh, look at that, stuck in the trees. Okay, well, we'll chop this piece up anyway, and we'll take the extra wood from it. So chop. That chops it in half. Off it goes. Smashing down trees and branches as it goes. My wood cutting has improved to 11. That's how much wood I've been chopping up. Okay, pick up all the wood that's come out. And this one, I don't think we're going to be able to chop it from here, are we? No, because it's stuck in another tree. Handy. Okay, well, let's go and get some wood from elsewhere. Skip forwards. Okay, so we're back to the house again. So we're resting. Furniture, let's actually get that bed in. There we go. Put it in the corner there. I mean, it's a bit ramshackle at the moment, the house, but that doesn't matter. Spawn point set, and we can sleep. Okay, that is the end of day 1, which moves us on to day 2. Okay, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Hello, and welcome back. Thor is now deciding that he needs to improve his homestead quite considerably. So let's get rid of the fire. It was a bit too close to his bed last night. and he got a little bit on the hot side. So he's going to move it a little bit further away, and more importantly, because he wants to build a cooking station over it, because that's the next thing. We need food. Okay, that fire's now looking good there in the corner. Okay, now we need a cooking station. We'll put that over the top. There we go. And now what we can do is we can cook some of that raw meat that we've picked up. Now, when you're cooking, you use E to cook the items, and you use E to take the items off the fire when they're cooked. And you have to pay attention, because if you don't take them off here in the right amount of time, those two lovely pieces of meat will just turn to pieces of coal. However, do let one turn to a piece of coal and collect it, and you'll unlock signs. So you'll unlock another recipe. Okay, there we go. That one's ready, and that one's ready. So you'll hear it sizzle as it cooks, and 1 or 2 sizzles, press E on it and it'll be cooked. Now obviously our roof is still nowhere near finished, so let's get a bit more of the roofing done. Okay, there we go. Missing requirement. Oh yay, we need more wood again. Okay, let's speed things up. Okay, let's destroy the porch. Bye-bye, 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 bye-bye. Because the extension that we've built actually fits nicely onto the sides. So there we go, get those wall pieces in. And then we can finish off building the roof as well. Probably not got enough yet to entirely finish it, but we should be able to get that roof piece in. There we go. There we go. So it's looking a bit more like a house now. We've still got some holes and everything else in it. So what we'll do is we'll put some extra bits and pieces in to get that all sealed off. So it's looking more like a nice house. Oh, can't get up on the roof there. Oh well, run around. Oh, these aren't even in line. So let's blow those up and build them again. There we go, keep that straight. Now destroy the middle piece and put the door back in again. There, now it's all straight. Okay, that's looking a bit better. Okay, can't do any standing wood torches yet. We need more resources. So again, off we run and skip forwards. And look at the state of this. Look at the floor there. Okay, so raised terrain. As I said, you need stone for that. So again, raised terrain and raised terrain. There we go. Now the wall doesn't have a hole underneath it. Oh, we've run out of stone again. That's fine for now. But inside, we're looking a bit more homely now. So everything inside is all up and level. There's no gaps. That's good. Okay, so we need more resources. Again, skip forwards. Here's some stone. Let's pick that up because we need that for the raising terrain. Okay, go back down. Can we do any more? Okay, let's have a go. Now, let's go for flatten now. So, there we go. Oh, look at that. Straight. Oh, yeah, we've got a hole again. Okay, so it's lowered it back down. Jeez. Okay, so raised terrain and raised terrain. There we go. So everything's all sealed off now. Now, you would like to hope that you could level off of the back so it all stays the same level. But no, it doesn't really work like that. So raise the terrain inside as well. So what that's doing is it's now making it perfectly smooth with the floor. So everything is now fairly level inside here. And what we need to do is finish building off the rest of the building so it's looking like a nice little house. Okay, that's not going to work. That's too big. That's going to cut off the corner of the extension, so to speak. So let's put in a smaller piece, and we can use some poles to get that kind of covered up. We can put little pieces in as well. There we go. Put in a couple of those. Put that one there. Okay, that's looking not too bad. There's a little bit up there, but we can put that on the end. There we go. So now there's only a very small gap at the top. Now, obviously, we haven't built the chimney yet. But that's okay, because that should be enough to stop the fire from being doused by rain at the moment. Obviously, if we get a big heavy rainstorm, it's not, because that's still a hole in the roof. Now, you can see down in the bottom left-hand corner, I've eaten some meat, strawberries and mushrooms, which means I've now got a fairly decent amount of health. Okay, so we've upgraded, crafted the rag pants, because that gives you a bit more protection from the weather, and we can also build our first chest. So let's get a chest put into our living area. That will allow us to store some of the extra stuff that we're picking up. There we go. And again, E to open it, and then you can put in anything that you found. So let's put this boar trophy in there. Not really much else I want to put in there. The wood I can keep on me. The food I will need to cook some more soon. But other than that, we're pretty good. Okay, go out. Let's put some more posts in. There we go. Got to like fire, especially at night, because if you come back to your place at night, it's a welcoming sight of fire as you return to your living quarters. Now off we trot again, round the outside. I shall skip forwards one more time, but for a perfect start, this is basically what you need to do. So collect your wood, your stone, get your shelter built, get your bed down, get those 4 walls around you and a roof over your head, and then you can light up the outside, put the fire posts in, which obviously keeps away the greylings, which are the only enemies now at the moment. Obviously as it gets further into the game it gets harder, but now you've got somewhere you can rest, somewhere you can sleep, and somewhere that you can store your stuff. So doing fairly well. And what you can do is you can use that as an exploration point as your base of operations. So you can explore all the terrain in the surrounding area, which I will tell you will take some time. And also the other thing is to mark locations on the map, but I'll show you that in a later video. It's fairly easy. M key brings up the map. Down at the bottom right hand corner you've got a series of symbols. Left click on the one that you want to use, double click on the map where you're standing, give it a name, and then you'll mark those locations, because you'll find houses and stuff that you'll want to explore with chests in, maybe smash them up with a hammer, with your axe to collect the wood and those kind of things. Let's craft a club, basic beating tool. But that's it for part 1. I Know It All Gaming. Do click like and subscribe, but until next time, I look forward to seeing you in part 2.